Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. The feature car this week is a genuine, real, honest-to-goodness police car in the form of a 1977 Chevy Nova. This car, after being retired from active duty, is now used to attend car shows and other functions throughout Southern California. We'll let the car's owner explain everything about it. Now, let's go for a ride.
Hi, my name is Edward Godfrey. I'm a retired lieutenant from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. I spent approximately 36 years working there, and I've had an affinity for these police vehicles. We've recreated one of our 1977 Nova radio cars, as we called it, at LASD. And so all the equipment on here is original from our Fleet Services office. So the light bar, all the implements inside, the shotgun rack, a lot of the other things were my actual personal items. We called them booking gear because if you were the passenger officer, you wrote all the reports, did the booking slips, so it was referred to as booking gear. Back in those days, up until probably 87, we used to have the shotguns mounted in a horizontal manner. I would suspect for extra room. There's a little green bag down there. We called that like a bug out bag. So if you found yourself in a situation where you needed to bail out of the car and have extra ammo or flashlight battery during an incident, you'd have that ability to go away. Because during these days, our department didn't even have handheld radios until 1989. So you would normally take the mic off of the holder, sling it outside the door, get involved in whatever situation you were involved in, and one of you had to get back, or a citizen, to transmit that we needed help. So it made it very difficult. The cage in this particular model, later they had a little door opening, so it gave better visibility to the deputies driving the car. So in 77, they were solid. The reason there's a scanner on there is, again, we worked in multi-jurisdictional areas of Los Angeles. So this station that's represented by the one, Firestone Station, was surrounded by LAPD, Newton Division, 77th Division, and Southeast, where we could monitor their calls and respond to their calls off the scanner. So it made listening, interesting.
Cool.
So,
gotta get the one.
Yeah, and so the one would be the station number, and the last three would be what's known as the shop number for mechanical purposes. And then what I'll show you is there's a button inside to make it easier for you to access the trunk. In the equipment, or kit as it's known, this would be a setup for a two-person radio car. So each person would have their bag your box or bag that you would carry your forms and equipment in. I even used to carry milk bones, so if you went to a call where there was a dog, I could give the dog a treat. And all this stuff in here is original to the era, including the gas mask, the fire extinguisher, the jail blanket.
Wow.
There's flares in the ammo box. These are unique in the sense, and there's a lot of more to the story about the Nova and how it became one of the top cars in law enforcement.
Oh, yeah?
And so a editor for Motor Trend magazine was actually a reserve deputy, and he worked with GM to develop this car during the gas crisis to make it more economical. But it turned out to be like a little rocket ship, and it was well received. But we only used them for about 3 years. So if you arrested somebody with a bicycle, our shops made these racks. And if you come to the front of the vehicle, there's two holes. We call these the push bar.
Yeah.
And you could take the arrestee's bicycle and hook it on the rack, and that way you could transport them that way.
You guys just came up with that on your own? You did it?
I don't know which department came up with it, but as far as I know, talking to other people from this era. We might have been one of the first, but I can't say for 100%.
That's awesome.
So, like I said, everything from the red man chewing tobacco to the sunflower seeds, because you got to remember, this is your cockpit. This is, you spend some of the most harrowing moments of your life, the most fun moments of your life inside these passenger compartments. So during maybe lulls in activity, there's those habits of chewing sunflower seeds or chewing tobacco. There's a shop towel rubber band around the map light, and that's to keep the illumination down at night so you weren't as much of a target from having a white light in the background.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's awesome. How long have you had it?
I've had this car probably about a year now, but I've had other police cars, and I have others that are in the restoration process. So, but this is by far my favorite one.
And now I know why.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a couple left on the line when I came on, but they were getting put out of service, and then we went to the Malibu, so I spent a great deal of my early patrol career working in the Malibu. But this was my favorite car by far.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool car, huh? Yeah, people seem to love police cars, unless they find themselves in the back seat of one. A Nova is certainly an unusual car for police duty, but they're a nice size for law enforcement to use, don't you think? So next week, we'll continue with our series on the top cars of a specific decade. Right now, we're in the late 1960s, and we'll be splitting up the video into 2 parts. Look for your favorite. Thanks for watching, and we appreciate your time.